Hello, everybody. My name's Ardendris, and welcome back to All the Mods 10. Last time we started things off with a nuclear explosion and some fallout. Yeah, thankfully I have avoided that happening again, although I do think I know what happened. I think there's some weirdness between the pipes things and the mechanism blocks. Because when I came back over here as well, and this thing was using up a bunch of its water and building up steam and wasn't actually moving it along anywheres. So what I think happened was, when you like restart the game, you might have to like reset these things. Also, these things stopped producing lithium for some reason. Um, oh, we're filled up on lithium dust. Cool. So yeah, there's some weirdness. I need to pump this into a backpack of some sort for extra inventory space. But I think I have everything working again. I just have to double check that everything's functioning whenever I reboot the game. Anyways, we have lithium production. We have a very, very inefficient turbine. Yeah, we need way more steam in this thing to get it working well, but it is technically going and it is technically producing 1.7 kg. That's nothing. That is literally nothing compared to our 64 times nether star generator. That's all well and good. Anyways, between episodes, I am recording at 11:30. I am probably not recording this whole episode today, and we're probably just going to skip a day for ATM, and this will go up the day after. Because, oh my goodness, all of this mechanism stuff takes so long to set up. I've been working on stuff for 2.5 hours now. So basically, what I have done is reset up another one of these boiler things. What are they called again? Thermal evaporation units, or something like that. A thermal evaporation plant. I need to light this place up because I'm getting annoyed with these constant mobs. So I set up another one. It is not producing anything yet because I do not have another water thing. I am going to be stealing this one because I did not feel like making another one. And I believe everything is set up so that we could go ahead and transfer over to a sodium cooling system, which should work a little bit better. So this thing, when it gets water into it, it should use said water to create brine. And I did actually make some of these thermodynamic conductors from Mechanism. They're not that expensive. Here we go. It's just the alloy and various things. Steel, copper get you 8, and then each one of these just a single infused, so on and so forth, using all that stuff. Hold on, what was in there? Heat conduit from, sure, cool, whatever. So these things, these appear to be working a bit more reliably. Also, part of the problem was these things weren't getting hot enough, so I can actually go ahead and make this thing use more joules to produce more heat, and there we have it. Anyways, this one will take water, and this actually needs to be an output as well. It will output the brine that is produced into this electrolytic separator. We've seen these things before in the fuel system. Anyways, it will take the brine, and it will turn it into hydrogen, which should go here, and sodium, which will go through this line and eventually make its way back into this thing, which will be used for sodium input into the reactor. Cool. You might notice that other line. We'll go over that in a moment. This is just a power line. I'm using the universal cables. I made these because I saw universal and thought it meant, universal, but basically that just means it moves power. It doesn't actually move anything else. I was mistaken there. So this thing, sodium goes down, hydrogen goes that way. This we'll have to keep an eye on. Sodium goes into this, and when this is using sodium instead of water coolant, it will then produce superheated sodium, which will go through here, output through, and follow all the way to here. And then I believe it's this line. No, that's the wrong line. This line right here is for superheated sodium. It will come back through and then be input into the boiler here. I've gone ahead and make like the basics of it. I got some free structural glass from something else. Plus, I think I still had some because I think this is also structural glass. So there's that. Structural glass, the boiler casing is just a piece of steel and a couple pieces of iron, or I have that backwards, but super cheap. And then these valve things are, once again, super cheap. It's an advanced conduit and 4 of those things, and you get 2 per. So, water goes in here, superheated sodium goes in here, steam gets output from here and goes into the turbine. I will be moving that input to there. And then this final one takes the non-superheated sodium, because that's what this thing does. Superheated sodium becomes regular sodium, which gets fed back into the system, and then we do a big old circle and we start the process over again. So, as soon as I finish this off, which should be as simple as taking these 4 superheating elements, again, we've seen these things used. They're part of... I, I was going to say there's one in the turbine, but I don't think so. You use them to make these things, a bunch of them. So 4 of those, and then I could leave a gap here and it will produce extra steam or extra water. Or this will just work, and then I close the entire top in with boiler casings, of which I made a few more than necessary. Yeah, I made 1 extra set. That's not too bad. It looks a little bit weird and squished, but that's fine. And just finish off the top with structural glass. And we now have a thermoelectric boiler. It's building up heat. Oh, that works. I wasn't expecting the heat to work there. I was expecting I would need to put that in through one of these things. Does that mean I don't need these valves at all and the heat will just go in if I put it directly into the side? That is bad. That does mean we're going to be using up more power than this thing can take. This can move 8,000. Let's set this to 4,000, which will up its speed all the way up to 700 and some on Kelvin. Okay, cool. That should stabilize these two at like an equal number. That's pretty decent, and they should both still be running perfectly fine. The hotter this thing is, the better it works. So I'm probably going to upgrade that all the way to netherite and have this full blast. Anyways, I believe I just need to get water into this system at this point, and it will be working perfectly fine. The quest completed for this one does give us a bunch of superheated sodium. So we do have that to, like, kickstart things off, and I believe I need to just start... I think it's time to stop this from running water through. I can scram this. Is there any way to empty all the water out of this? Or am I just going to have to let it run and run without coolant for a moment? That's a scary thought. I think I have to do it, though. Let's remove this. It's on. It's going to run out of water eventually. Steam is still being taken out of it. Where's my configurator? Here it is. This will need to be changed to an export. Output waste. No, I want it to output coolant. That's what we want there. And then that one, I think I can do it now. This one will be changed to inputs. Yeah, input only. This is no longer necessary. Cool. Where are my extra gas pipes? Here they are. Let's see. Where does this line go? This line goes over all the way and connects to the steam thing. All of these lines are now no longer necessary, so just do that. This needs to be moved over. I kind of need to rush here. I need to make sure that this is dangerous, the way I am doing this. I need to make sure that all of this is up and running again before that thing runs out of coolant. Otherwise, we could have another meltdown. So, there's that. This is output, which means I'm going to need to take this and run it like this. And then this is just going to go like so. Here I need to get water running into here. And it needs to be fast enough water production for both things. So let's go like so. So, and so. Okay, this is already just producing steam as well as water, so that's pretty good. Said steam. Can I change the actual output steam? Steam is actually being output, and it's going into this thing. Is this thing running again? It's building up steam pretty reliably. This thing should be an input of... Let's see, output coolant, input only. Input only. This thing should be input only, and then this one should be output, I believe. Output coolants? Sure? Maybe? Outputs, I'm going to assume that's supposed to be output coolant. It doesn't have any sodium in it yet. This thing's producing brine. The brine is not actually okay, we're producing more brine than we need. Sodium should be going down this way, but this thing isn't taking in sodium just yet. I forgot I need to let this thing still be outputting steam. Is there an easier way for me to clear this thing? I don't think so. I think I legitimately need to let it run out of steam and water. So I'm scared of this thing, but eventually it should work. Plutonium, we're up to 1 more pellet, and we're now up to 2 more polonium. So we did actually make it pretty... We made some progress there, but nothing too major. So... just to see this work, superheated sodium, this is input for superheated sodium. So if I just go like that and that, oh wait, no, I have to do output on the bottom. Superheated sodium goes in here, and superheated sodium should be getting produced and turned into sodium, which... yep, is actually getting built up in here. Sodium is considered the coolant, so that's correct. Cool. So I believe as soon as this thing runs out of steam and runs out of coolant, we should be good. So, actually, hold on. This is empty now, right? Yep, that's empty now, which means that if I just put this here, and then and now I need to make bottom input again. Steam goes stored in here. It won't store all of it, but will store enough to keep it safe for a little bit longer. And I don't think I actually have any more, so I guess I'll hook that up here and have that output as well and just keep going back and forth. But I believe this is now a working system. I just need to let it run for a little bit to see if the sodium will actually work as intended, and to just let all the water disappear. So I'll see you in a moment. Okay, so after watching how quickly this thing runs through water, which, there we go, it took a moment to actually run through the rest of the water, there's no way at all that we're going to reliably be able to produce enough sodium for this thing. Maybe? Nope, that number scares me. That number is just going up. Heating rates, sodium is never reaching above 200. We're about to start reaching 500 Kelvin. We're definitely reaching damage. Just turn off. Okay, yeah. No, we are producing nowhere near enough sodium right now. Didn't really think... I wasn't sure if we were going to or not. Okay, we're producing sodium there. This thing only transfers 200 millibuckets a tick. Maybe I should change... I should probably change over directly into the... completely over into like the high-grade universal pressurized tubes. These move way faster. So that's probably the better option here. And I'm just going to need like a whole array of these things, which... oh yeah, these can get speed upgrades. And... how do we make these speed upgrades? Where are they? Those are basic tier installers. Those work for making things better into machine things. Is it really that easy? Just 2 structural glass, which... easy. And 2 infused alloy, easy. And osmium dust, super easy. And is it 1 per? Or can these stack? Hold on, can these stack? Mechanism, speed upgrades, machine upgrades. At least the simple ones can use upgrades are on the top right of the GUI. The supported upgrades are Let's see. Speed upgrade. What about chemical upgrade? Okay, these will basically increases the efficiency of chemical using machinery. Okay, so that makes things that use chemicals work a little bit better. Cool. Speed. We don't have all the time in the world. Let's speed it up a bit. The reactors won't wait forever. Okay, so I don't see anything that says you can only use one, but I don't see anything that says you can use multiple, so it could go either way. Um, let's go make some speed upgrades then. Should be simple enough just to get everything I need for it. Either that, or I'm going to need to make like 12 of these machines to handle all the sodium we're going to need. So, 1 second, I'll get the stuff together for speed upgrades. Okay, super easy just to get everything together. Speed upgrades. There's 5, and it was the structural gloss that kept me from doing more. Might as well just finish off the set of 3 real quick. I made 8 osmium dust. So let's see. Well, increases speed of machinery. 8 out of 8, 256 times efficiency. This is now not getting enough brine, so this one actually needs upgraded. I don't have another thing on me. I put it in here. So let me go ahead and make an ultimate pipe upgrade real quick, and we'll see. We'll see. There we go. Ultimate pipe upgrade, in it goes. Oh. Hmm. I appear to have gone too far with it, and now this is not actually producing enough. This is only diamond tier. So let's upgrade to this one to... You get to be an ultimate upgrade too. This is staying even at about 9,000 water, which is immediately getting pumped out to be brine in these things. Those ones are automatically getting filled up. This one is staying even. Chlorine is super speeded. Sodium. Let's see. Coolant. This thing is turned off. So what is happening here? This is a bit of a strange one. Let's actually cancel that one real quick. So this thing is only putting sodium into the thing. What is happening? Why is it doing that? Huh? That's still cooling out. Chemical sodium. Okay, there we go. There was just some weirdness going on where it was like still too hot to actually store sodium in it, so it was just getting rid of sodium. Anyways, cool. We're now producing sodium pretty quickly. When it hits 250, I'm going to try turning it on and seeing what happens. It might be a case where we just need more brine production than we can handle right now. 250. Nope, turn it off. Yeah, it just can't handle it right now, I guess. Super... How fast is this thing? Yeah, this one needs an upgrade in it too. That has a bunch of sodium stuck in it. That needs to be transferred over here. Yeah. So all of these need super... Oh, the chlorine's filled up now too. That would also explain part of it. So basically, there are just like a whole bunch of problems with this system that need working out before we can officially say that this thing is working. But, I am out of time to record for tonight. It is after midnight. My head hurts. So I'm going to end up recording the rest of this tomorrow. Yeah, we're just going to end up skipping a day of ATM. I'll probably upgrade all of these, and then... How am I going to make this thing better, though? More heat? More heat's easy, isn't it? I can just take one of the energy inputs, replace this thing real quick. That actually gets me another thing. So now this thing moves so much more energy. 8.19 mg a tick. So I could just like that. Temps will reach like the 100,000s from that thing. This thing is now And now I'm gonna need to pump more water out, which should be as simple as a really, really strong fluid tank. This thing's not strong enough. This thing... Yeah, this thing's producing a lot of sodium now. At this point, it's just going to come down to boosting the amount of water that can be pumped into these. Actually, no, it seems to have stabilized a bit. I don't know. Obviously, we need more water going into the system. So... What about the universal fluid pipes? Where are they? Did I skip over them? I know I just said that I was out of time for recording, but let's just brainstorm the problems with this one real quick. Where are they? There they are. Thermodynamic, pressurized tubes, ultimate. Is it just the pressurized tubes? Or do those ones work for fluids as well? I don't know. Let's see. Pressurized tubes, mechanical pumps. Here they are. They're just labeled differently. Save that recipe. And let's just try it. Just need to grab out all of a bunch of stuff that we keep grabbing out and then putting it back in and grabbing back out and yada yada, so on and so forth. That. I just need a bucket. I am out of buckets almost. That's interesting. Let's just try it. This could be the answer to all of our problems. Upgrade. 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 Infinitely faster. 128 millibuckets a tick. This thing only moves 10,000. Okay, so just going like this. And these are actual mechanism systems being pumped in, so maybe it's better. It says water's being pumped out. I don't believe it, though, because we're running out of water in all of our systems. Huh. Maybe this one won't work as I want it to. Where's the configurator? Here it is. Redstone sensitivity turned off. Turn off. Push. Pull. Push. Push. I'll have to look into this one some more. But anyways, I'll see you tomorrow. There will be only a few moments for you. Okay, I'm back. For you, that was moments. For me, that was... This is the next morning after all that. Anyways, I have done some more tweaking with the system. I added in 2 more of these things and started messing with their temperature outputs. Currently they're all at 50. I can probably manage a little bit more on them, but I am going to need to jumpstart the system with a bit more power, because I'm starting to run low, apparently. But anyways, those things and these things are all boosted to produce as much brine and thus as much sodium and whatnot as possible. Although, I am going to need to boost the heat in this a little bit, because right now, all of these are boosted enough where they're running through brine faster than it's going in, or just as fast as it's going in. Water is fine with the second pump in there. So, yeah, basically right now, I just need to get these things to go a little bit hotter, and then that will boost sodium production. And the reactor here, this is actually producing enough sodium now in order to leave running. And also, I just completely missed that I can go in here and change up the burn rate. So instead of 0.1, it's now 0.08, which means 8 times the production of this stuff, which is very nice. I just changed that before starting, and we already got like another full pellet. That's going to be super helpful. This is also expanded by 1 block forward, so I could fit in another fuel control rod. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go in there and change out where the 1s are and where the 2 1s are, because I can fit an extra control rod pillar in there, and that will make this run better. Although, again, I can't really boost it any more than this because of the whole coolant thing. Although maybe I could switch this back to water, and steam from this thing going in might be better right now until I can boost sodium production enough to make it work. I don't really know. Anyways, we're now producing 19 kilojoules of power out of this at a time, because this thing is now pumping out over 5,000 millibuckets. Why is this not the same number? Oh, this has some extra steam from a steam tank in there. Cool. And that's gonna need to be fixed in a moment. I don't really have better storage for chemicals right now, do I? So let's just go ahead and make one of these. And do I have the stuff to turn it up anymore right now, or no? No, I am completely out of infused alloy. I should have... Oh, excuse me, sorry. I should have gone to grab that before we started. How's this wither doing? Because for some reason it keeps going down to like 5 HP, and I'm not really sure why. Anyways, let's see. I have a bunch of these at least, and these things get put in to become advanced versions. I need redstone in here, and I need some... How do I make this stuff again? Is it copper? Yeah, it's copper for that. So I'm out of enriched redstone, so I guess I'll use this, and I'll start running those through, and I'm going to need to make some more chemical tanks, like, right away, because, kind of a problem if I'm going to start running out of that stuff. Anyways, what else are we getting up to for right now? I don't really know. Is there anything else from Mechanism we want to do right now, or is it time to, like, switch away from it for the moment? As basically, I just need to keep how do we upgrade that further? I literally got it backwards. At this point, we essentially just need to start messing with values and whatnot. I need to keep pumping more power and whatnot into the system to make this run a little bit more smoothly. Flooring's going fine now. I am going to upgrade the turbine and expand it a little bit more so we can fit more blades in there. But yeah, I think at this point, I'm just waiting for polonium and plutonium to start running through a bit more. Thank you for free polonium. So, how do we make this super critical phase point thing? It's like a big round sphere, 3, 5, 7 blocks by 7 blocks sphere. We need so much glass, so much SPS casing. SPS ports, SPS casings. I can make one of those right now if I figure out HDPE. Enrichment chamber with these pellets. Oxygen and liquid ethene. Liquid ethene is made via regular ethene, which is made by processing biomass with some of our hydrogen we're producing. Pressurized reaction chamber. Water, hydrogen, biomass. Biomass is made from either a crusher with that stuff. That's probably the easier way to do it. Or crush... Oh, I guess it is just plant life into a crusher is going to be the way to do that one. So, I guess we can get started on that one. And then after... When we have that working and we can get our HDPE casings, what else do we need for this? That stuff. Laser looks simple enough. And then the antimatter thing is critical. Words are hard. Antimatter is made from the chemical oxidizer from there. The supercritical phase shifter outputs a lot of power. So this is where our main power system is going to come in. Polonium is used to produce all of that. Cool. Although we're going to need a bigger fission reactor. I have a feeling this is going to need more polonium than we're currently producing. So is it really just the HDPE stuff and then waiting for polonium and plutonium, I think? As far as I can tell, yes. So, enrichment chamber, easy enough. We've made that plenty of times before. Substrate in this stuff. Oxygen and liquid ethene. Substrate is, yeah, biomass. Okay, yeah, biomass, hydrogen, water. Cool. That looks simple enough. Liquid ethene, condensator, ethene, biomass, water, hydrogen. Oh, substrate and ethene are both produced from that stuff, and then you use them together to produce the pellets. And then you introduce either more water or more oxygen, it looks like. Oh, that's just for duplicating a substrate with extra water. That's not actually too bad either, and it produces oxygen. So yeah, it looks like we just need a couple of machines and a couple copies of said machines, and we just start running stuff back through. So a couple pressurized reaction chambers and a crusher is kind of what it's looking like. Sure, let me go get this stuff together. Enrichment chamber, a couple of the things, and cool. I think I know what I need. I might need a rotary condensator. I think I saw something that was liquid from chemicals. We'll see if we actually need one or not. Okay, so I have everything I'm going to need, I believe. I just need to figure out how to work it together with what I've already got. Basically, I just went ahead and squished everything for lithium production a little bit more. I think we already have way more lithium than we're actually going to need, but I'm just going to let that run through. I did remove the water thing so I could move it over there for now. But anyways, we have a crusher here. I did already crush up some melons and some pumpkin, so we do have some amount of biofuel. It's just a question of how much more we're going to need. The crusher should then be pumping out an item into the pressurized reaction chamber. Like this stuff goes here. This stuff, when used with, where is it? Here it is. Water and hydrogen, which means that it's going to have water input on the right. Let's see. Water input right. Water is a fluid. This needs to be a fluid pipe. Okay, good thing I noticed that now instead of waiting for a little bit longer. So, I also now have the... I just have the fluid collector instead of one of the water things. I just didn't have... I don't really have the resources to keep making more of them, and I didn't want to. So, hold on, will that work? If I just place this thing, like, underground, face down, facing, like, a water pit, will that work? Maybe, I have no idea. I also don't know if I'm gonna need more space down here for pipes, pipes than I already have. So if I just go like this, there's that, and then if I fill that in with water, will this actually succeed? Water's here. It doesn't have power. I forgot that step. That should be as simple as just like a little wire going through here, right? And I believe, yep, it connects right there. So is this thing now collecting water? It is. Cool. Now, half of it should go into the electrolytic separator and the other half should go into the reaction chamber. If I don't mess up the reaction chamber, that is. So this is now getting water very slowly. We'll change this over to one of the permanent water things eventually. This is getting water and is turning it into hydrogen and oxygen. Wait. Do I want to do this? I need hydrogen and oxygen over here. I don't have another source of oxygen from here. All the oxygen over here gets used up for fuel production, so I can't really just steal that. So yeah, I'll set up this separate system over here, even though I definitely have resources I could be using instead. This one's gonna look ugly. I did not plan this one out well enough ahead of time. Anyways, fluid collector's getting power. Water goes into these, producing hydrogen and oxygen. Need power over here. This one also needs to output hydrogen into this system right here. So output chemicals in the front, and I need that to be output 1 goes out to the front. Cool. So break this and then put it back down. Nope, not netherite, this stuff. I definitely need to fix inventories right now. So hydrogen should get pumped in here. If I don't stop doing that. Anyways, we now have substrate. That is an item. That is going to be item pumped out of the bottom. That will not go in there. I'm not sure why that can even take an item input. Anyways, I need more item things. I don't have any more item things. You know what? Let's just use universal. It's not like they'll stack with everything else right now anyways. So, universal is I have 56 of them. I made a whole bunch of them. I just couldn't find them for a moment. So, output, item, stop doing that. Item output on the bottom is fine. I'll go like so. And then that will attach to... Where does the substrate go? Again, this goes into a... Hold on, I am out of outputs. I can put one more on the back, but I can't do anything with it. I think I need power on the back output for that one then. Because I'm going to need another one to pump out the ethene. This is a little bit of a rough one. I need more... I need all 6 outputs, which doesn't really work very well. The crusher's pumped in. This is just going to end up looking pretty bad, but I guess it'll be fine. Now I need a chemical output from here. Be very quick about it. Cool. So they're fine. Chemical output, ethene. Chemical output off to the left, I guess. That needs to be output... so item output bottom, chemical output here. This ethene needs to go where? What's the next step? This is a messy one. So that stuff. From here, I need oxygen and ethene to turn it into a substrate, or more water and the ethene to duplicate it, and then get some extra oxygen, which can also be used. Do I add a third one into the system? Add water into that and some of the ethene. But how much ethene are we producing? Not a lot. And we're out of hydrogen. Oh yeah, because this one still needs power in it too. Oh, this is a real rough one. This one is gross. Like so. And I am out of power cords, aren't I? Nope, no, I have 3 more. Oh, this is such a gross system right now. That's storing oxygen, which also needs to come out of it somewheres. I guess that will be here. What am I using that oxygen for? Substrate. Oxygen and ethene need to be pumped in with the substrate into another one, and that will produce the HDP things. So that is an enrichment chamber. That's not what we're after. I need the other... There's one pressurized reaction chamber. I made 2 of them. Where did it go? Here it is, pressurized reaction chamber. So this thing needs... Let's see. That thing, oxygen will come out that side with I guess a universal thing because I'm out. So output 2 goes out to the right. That's set up right. That can do like that. This can go here, where it will get power, and that. So cool. So let's see. Oxygen is coming in from the back, I think. Output to the right. Input from gas pipe here. This gas pipe gets connected there, and... So let's see. Output chemical left. Chemicals. Output gas pipe on the left. This needs chemical input on the left. Chemical input is set up on the left, and it's just... Why isn't this getting ethene into it? Chemical ethene... Item output is also there. Oh, I can do item input on the back as well, can I? So, items inputted on the back. That can be inputs. So now it has substrate and whatnot. Oh, I'm on the wrong thing. Chemical... Why is that not outputting the ethene anywhere? Ethene... Chemical output left. Yeah, chemical output left, chemical input left. Why is that not working? Input, output, input, chemical... It's not working for some reason. Is ethylene a liquid? Ethene must be a liquid then. So where's my fluid pipes? Let's attempt it. So, sides, fluid output left. No, this thing doesn't output fluids. Then why isn't it moving? 1 second. Oh, okay, I got it. I need to put that stuff into a rotary condensator, but this needs a fluid ethene, and I'm trying to pump in chemical ethene. That explains it. So, I didn't... I knew I probably needed one. I had seen that I might need one, and then I forgot to build one preemptively. Thankfully, I already have the thing, and I made another one of these trying to fix it and couldn't get it working. Although now it has the ethene in it. So I guess I'll just make a new one anyways. Having one of those on hand is a good thing. Is a good thing anyways. So energy tablet, basic chemical thing. I just need redstone, and I think I'm going to need some gold, and I'm going to need some of that stuff I already have on me. Never mind. Rotary condensator, one of these, and we're going to need one of these. Cool. So rotary condensator also needs to be hooked up into the power. Also needs... How to do this, Oh, this system is so bad. It looks so bad. Break that. Rotary condensator. Ah, dang it, it got the hydrogen. No. Actually, I can just say get rid of the hydrogen, can I? So you should output that Flip that, turn all that liquid hydrogen into hydrogen, and then you're going to output that hydrogen chemicals towards this. Or not towards that, you want to output towards that. Cool. Except it's not for some reason. Oh, because that's filled up. Fine then, we'll use the dropper, which I probably still have them on me somewheres. Except I don't know what I did with it. Is it still in this? Yes, it's still in there. Cool. So, hydrogen comes out of here. Cool. Can I put that in there? That's literally the exact opposite of what I wanted to do. I wanted to... Whatever. I just have some hydrogen now. This is a hydrogen tank. It can hold it. It can hold it. Cool. Now, rotary condensator. It's right here. It's getting power. We're going to turn that off. That is inputs. So, I'm out of biofuel. Let's see. Saplings, I believe, work. So, just grab some oak saplings. These should be crushed up into biofuel. Biofuel will go into here. This will produce substrate and ethene. The ethene should be going into the condensator, although I'm not quite sure. And then fluid output. Don't do that. Fluid input from everywhere's. Power. Well, I guess I'll just do this. Pick that up. Output fluids towards that one or towards that one. Both should be fine. I don't remember exactly which one's right. So substrate, ethene, substrate and ethene. Let's see. Substrate needs to go down, so I need the thing. Basically have this input everything from the bottom, I believe. Input bottom, input bottom, input bottom, input bottom. Although I'm not sure if it's actually getting power now. Is this universal hooked up into the power system? Not yet, but now it should be as soon as I put this here and do like that. Cool. So now if I'm correct, this produces biofuel. This should be turning biofuel into... Oh, it needs 2 at a time. So it turns 2 biofuel into a substrate and gets some ethene and whatnot. Ethene... Ethene is a gas. Gas. Input on the sides. I did this wrong. Input sides. Fluid should be only output. Ethene is just... not getting moved for some reason. It refuses to move the ethene. Why? Why is this not working? I don't understand it. I see no reason why this is not working. Did I? Nope, no, it's not that. That's still perfectly fine. Why is this not working? I don't understand it. There we go. This one was still set to put gas into liquid. Or this was set to put liquid into gas. I needed to put gas into liquid. That's what it was. So ethene gets liquidated and put in here. Not enough energy? Where's the energy input for here? I guess I'll just make a... Let's just make this one for now. Because why not? I don't think I need much more power going into the system. There we go. So now, as long as this has stuff going into it to be crushed into biofuel, I believe everything's set up so that it will produce HDPE pellets here. And said HDPE pellets, 3 of them gets turned into an HDPE sheet, which means that I can just take one more item thing, like so. This is all set up to take power, so just do that. Item output back from here. Item output on the back, or that's the bottom, that needs to be input. That needs to be output, and then the enrichment chamber can just go here. And input from the right for items. And I believe that should do it. Wow, this is... I think I made this as... Well, not quite as closed up as I can. That one is eventually going to be changed out for a water thing, and then I won't need all these cables. And in fact, this is now hooked up into the universal cables, so it doesn't need this at all. Which I believe also means that that line's unneeded, but I could be wrong. Yeah, that line's now unneeded, and both of those lines are unneeded. So yeah, I can clean this up a little bit more, change out some things for universal pipes when capable. Ethene needs... how can I get this ethene back in? I guess just do that temporarily. And then this can get... Nope, that needs to go into the rotary condensator, not this. That was part of the whole problem we were having. So, whatever. It's working now. We're probably at time. I don't actually remember. I think we were at 22 minutes. You need to output chemicals top, and that should automatically put them in there, and then get rid of this. Dang it. This thing is too strong. And now you're gonna tell me I need to reset this up to actually export things, because I do. And am I going to have to fix it? Nope, it looks like it's working perfectly fine this time. Cool. Anyways, we're now producing that stuff, HDPE sheets. I'm just going to need to put a backpack full of stuff, of plant-based stuff that can be crushed into biofuel. Is this attached to the power system elsewhere? Yes? No, the bottom is an output only, so that's not going to work. I believe everything else is working perfectly fine, though. That will be changed out for a water thing, then I won't have to worry about this wire. Cool. It looks real bad. I can make it look better, though. All of the wires basically need to be hid, because all of them look like this convoluted mess right here. I'm sure I could have wired that a bit better. But, anyways, next time, I don't know. All of the mechanism stuff, I think, right now, besides, like, upgrading, like, this thing up more, these things need more power so I can boost the heat and produce more sodium. Chlorine's gonna be a problem. What can I use this for? I can turn it into turn it into liquid chlorine, and I can store that a lot better because I have like singularity tanks for massive amounts, much more than that. Hydrogen chlorine is only used for ore processing, though. So, salt, hydrogen chlorine, that gets pumped into the chemical injection chamber, and it takes ores, and that's like 2.5 times or 4 times, depending on what you... I mean, that looks good for ore processing. I should probably set that up at some point. It's gonna take a lot until this gets set up to a 5 times, though, like our other ore processing unit is. So, Tier 4 does a thing somehow. I don't really understand it yet. But anyways, next time we're probably changing gears. All the mechanism stuff is just stuff that's going to happen over time for right now anyways. So let's go do an adventure thing next time. It's just a question of what. Because, oh yeah, I've been told some stuff about the dragon fight, but I still don't know if we can win. Um... Eternal Starlight we're done with. Bumble Zone we're basically done with. Ice and Fire, we could go see more. The Undergarden? The Undergarden and whatever thing... Is the Undergarden the one that's past the giant portal in the ancient city, or is that something else? I don't know. Anyways, we're going to do an adventure thing next time. I'm kind of sick of these mechanism machines at this point. They just need to run and whatever. But for right now, I want to thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed as much as I have, and I hope to see you next time. So without further ado, take care, everybody. I want to thank everyone one more time for watching, and a special thank you to the channel members. Yamato Tanagura, Goddess of the Star-Filled Void, and the Phantom Knight. Thank you three so much for the extra support. So for real now, take care, everybody.